My recruiting strategy is the same everywhere, right? Every sport, regardless of gender. Step one is exposure. Step two is communication. Step three is relationships. Royalty asks, what age did you start them on playing sports? My kids started early. I mean, they were active early. So, I mean, and not in the sports that they ended up playing, but, you know, my daughter, she did dance, gymnastics, and then settled on volleyball. About third grade, she started playing volleyball, fourth grade maybe, and just fell in love with the sport and decided that's what she wanted to pursue. And then my son started around second and third grade as well with basketball. Oh my gosh, she dropped it. Started in basketball and just stuck with it. Maybe dabbled in some other sports, but basketball was always their main sport. So I guess around second, third, fourth grade is when they started. Ani, any advice for tennis recruiting? Tennis, the recruiting process is going to be the same regardless of the sport, Ani. So the first thing is exposure. You need to get your athlete in front of college coaches. And one way that you can do that you control, is by emailing coaches, sending film highlights of your athlete, right? Exposure is step one, which leads to communication, which is the back and forth that emails provide until you're able to talk on the phone. And then that leads to relationships. Relationships lead to offers. And you can go to ncaa.org to find all the programs that offer tennis at the collegiate level, all right? And as a reminder, guys, we have different levels within the sports. We have Division I, NCAA, Division I, Division II, and Division III. And then there are junior colleges. And then there's an entirely separate athletic organization called the NAIA that also offers a variety of sports and scholarships, athletic scholarships as well. So you have NCAA schools and then you have NAIA schools. JUCO falls under NC2A. You can find the requirements for each at ncaa.org and then playnaia.org. Courtney, wondering what age your son started reaching out to coaches with film. Courtney, our recruiting journey was a little bit different, and they all are, right? So there are many ways to a college roster position, to a college scholarship, many ways to do it. And my sons did not send film out to coaches. They had great high school and AAU programs, and so our exposure journey was a little bit different than most people's. If we were going to send out film, we would have started in 8th, 9th grade. I think 9th grade is the prime time to start sending film, Courtney. It's really not that early because coaches can reach out, Division I coaches can reach out to kids in 11th grade. So if you have started already that communication process in 9th grade, by the time 11th grade comes, coaches are going to have you on their radar and they're going to call your athlete if they're interested. Now, other divisions within the NCAA and NAIA, JUCO, they have different rules. I encourage you to learn those recruiting rules for yourself, but the important thing to know is that they can contact your kid earlier than 11th grade. They can contact your athlete before 11th grade. So, as I said on last night's live, if you wait, you're late. If you wait, you're late. So be proactive. Go ahead and create a list of schools that your child is interested in and start reaching out to them in 9th grade. The K3-1, how do I feel about NCSA recruiting? I just posted a video on that today, so please, it'll be the first video on my account. So go check that out. I think that NCSA is not necessary. I think that they're not doing anything that you can't do for yourself and that you couldn't do a better job at. I think that NCSA, it's not a scam because you're getting a service that you pay for, right? So it's not a scam, but I think it is predatory. I think that they prey on parents' fear, their confusion and anxiety, and they use high pressure tactics to get you to commit to their program. I don't agree with that. I think that by me sharing this information with you, you can make an informed decision. You can take the knowledge that I'm giving you, you can apply it to your situation, you can create a recruiting plan for your athlete by yourself, and you can execute that plan. Elite athletes have elite parents. I am here to help you get the knowledge that you need so you can help guide your child through the recruiting process. Hi, does your advice help with track and field? My advice helps with all sports, young men and young women, right? The recruiting process is exactly the same. And I will tell you, as a track parent, you need to be very clear that all of these apps and recruiting services that list your times, it's not enough. It's not enough because there are thousands of athletes listed there. You need to make sure that your athlete is getting in front of coaches, in front of the right coaches, in front of the coaches where your kid is interested in going to school. And the way that you do that is by taking control of the recruiting process and emailing those coaches, sending your child's time, sending your child's film, okay? That's what you're gonna do. When reaching out to schools, what information are they wanting to see? What are they wanting to see? They're wanting to know your child's size. They want to know the athlete's size. They want to know the athlete's GPA, because that's really what it comes down to. Is this athlete a fit for our program, and are they going to succeed in college? And the best indicator of that is their high school GPA, right? So that means the coach sees a kid that has the measurables for their team and they have a high GPA. That's going to catch their attention because they know I can trust this kid to go to class, to do the work, to be honest and not cheat. So yeah, they want to know. It's just an introduction. These initial emails, Wedding Kells, are introductions. This is who I am. This is why I like your program. I'd like to stay in touch. That's it. Don't overthink it. Adam of the Hand, daughter, consistently top 20 in the nation club volleyball, recovering ACL, missing freshman year. That's all right, Adam. That's all right, Adam. It's first of all, injuries are very common in high-level athletics, right? ACL injuries are very common in volleyball. What I would encourage you to do is make sure that she has top-notch physical therapy to get back and to get better than she was. Don't worry about missing this time. If I was emailing coaches, I would be updating them on her rehab and letting them know how it's going, and just letting coaches know that she was handling this like a pro, and she was locked in on her rehab, taking it seriously, supporting her team, still being a great teammate, and looking forward to her return to the court. All right, Mel, I have no idea I'm just getting into this. My son is in middle school but being scouted by some high schools. All right, Mel, I don't know what your son's sport is. And actually the recruiting process is going to be pretty similar for, choosing a high school and choosing a college. So just remember that the recruiting process is not linear. So many people think it is, but it's not. It's full of peaks and it's full of valleys, right? You got to hold on and just enjoy the roller coaster ride through it all. So go get that free recruiting checklist, Mel. Amazon Queen. Speaking of film for volleyball, do they want to see full games, one set, or a compilation of plays? How about all of it? How about all of that? So if I was emailing a coach, I would do a compilation of plays. I would do highlights, right? On social media, I would do highlights. And then on YouTube, I would have full games. I would have full, maybe sets, full sets. Because coaches would like to see more than just your, they don't just want to see the camera trained on your child. They would like to see how your kid moves on the court. Are they in the right position? Are they doing the right things? What do their movements look like? How are they supporting their teammates? They want to see all of that because it all matters. So I think it's great to have highlights and full games available for coaches to see. And I think that the YouTube link is a great idea. You can make it private if you like, where you list, you put all of their games and highlights and maybe skill work on there. And then when you email coaches, you will just include the link to that private YouTube page. All right. Mama Bear, I'm in Canada and have found Collegiate Goals. Have you heard of them? I absolutely have. And have talked with him for a while, and I believe that he is giving solid and factual advice. So yes, we're actually planning to do a live together soon. But yeah, go ahead. You can trust him, Mama Bear. You can trust Collegiate Goals. Hi, Cinnamon. Does it matter day and time we send emails? No, it does not matter. Don't overthink it. Just go ahead and send the emails. No worries. All right, Mel B, let's see. With all the transfers, you think JUCO is better for freshmen in film? Mel B, what is the sport? What's the sport, Mel B? So, the transfer portal is not something that is in our control, right? It's not in your control as a parent. It's not in your control as a high school athlete. All you can do is prepare yourself the best that you can and reach out to schools that are at the appropriate level for you. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Find the right schools that are fit for your athlete and then reach out to them. Football. Okay. And Mel B, I also would encourage you to look at rosters of the programs that he's interested in. You'll be able to look at the roster and see how many kids they're pulling from the portal each year. And if you were emailing and building relationships, you're communicating with coaches, then you can ask. How many kids are you planning to bring in from the portal in my position? When do you see me getting onto the field? Like, these are questions. They're hard questions, but they're questions that need to be asked. All right. All Breezy, hi. Any suggestions on any free profile platforms to host videos for recruiting? I do not have any suggestions. I know that there are several options that are out there, but maybe some of the parents in here can tell you what they're using, which free profile platforms they're using to host videos. But remember, just putting your video on a profile platform is not going to get your child recruited. You are still going to have to do the work and reach out to coaches, right? You're going to have to be proactive and manage this process. We're not just going to throw some videos up there and hope for the best. We're not going to spitball it, all right? I am in Canada. I have heard core courses are different in each province. Do you know about it? I do not know about that, but I did hear about it from my friend Collegiate Goals. If you're still here, Collegiate Goals, would you send a message, please, to Ordinary with the Canadian flag? Son is in a ninth grade soccer player. Ordinary, if you send me a message, I will connect you with Collegiate Goals. They are a recruiting service, education based, and they are in Canada. So they are very familiar with the core. Matter of fact, on last night's live, he was talking about how the core courses are different in each province. So message me and I will put you in touch with Collegiate Goals. I will say also that the recruiting process is going to still be the same. Crystal, how do you go about getting recruiters to watch your child at big club tournaments? How do we do that, Crystal? We email the coaches ahead of time and let them know where your child is going to be. Your child is going to send an email that's going to say, "Dear coach, my name is Lauren's daughter and I will be playing this weekend at the Northeast Qualifier in Philadelphia. My team is such and such. I wear number blah, 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 and I play such and such position. Please add me to your list to come by and check me out. Your state university is at the top of my recruiting list, and I would love to build a relationship with you." That's how. We're not leaving anything to chance. Hope is not a strategy, y'all. Hope is not a strategy, and certainly not when it comes to recruiting. Hope is not a strategy. We're not hoping somebody comes by the court. You're going to invite coaches to come by the court. You're going to invite coaches to come and watch. And you're going to email them. The first time they hear from you is not going to be at the tournament. They're coming to see you because you've been in touch with them. And you've invited them and they've been seeing clips. All right? Okay, Lauren, my daughter is a basketball player and all the college teams seem to pick from the same AAU team. All right, Lauren, that is actually not true. So don't worry about that, right? You can't, that's out of your control. All you can control is how your daughter practices, develops, and plays. That's it. And of course, the communication piece. If she were to reach out to coaches and let them know where she was playing, when she would be playing, send some highlight films ahead of time, then they would come and watch her. But coaches, there are some teams, like it's not even debatable, there are some teams that are better. They are fundamentally sound. The players have high game IQs. They are tall, they are athletic, they are physical. There are some teams that's the type of athlete that they have. That's the type of athlete they produce. So yes, coaches are going to know that because coaches have relationships with these team program directors. So they're going to know and they're going to go and watch those kids. But they can also come and watch your child if you promote them, if you make sure that the coaches know who they are, and if your kid is actually gifted and talented in the sport. That's it. Don't worry about what other teams are doing, y'all. Adriana, how do you know if your athlete has outgrown their current team? How do you know? That's my question to you, Adriana. How do you know? What's making you ask this question? What is it that you are seeing? Or what is your child telling you? That's how you know. By what you see and what you experience. All right? If it's time to find another team, then it's time to find another team. For whatever reason. But you know the answer to that. You will know when it's time. Lauren, my children played volleyball and basketball. I played volleyball. My husband played basketball. But I have helped children and families in track and field, football, girls basketball or women's basketball, women's soccer. So a wide range of sports, softball and baseball. The recruiting process, like I said, it's the same across sports, guys. Exposure is step one. Step two is communication. Step three is relationships. All right. Cole, you're not going to get noticed by coaches without you reaching out to coaches, Cole. I have a free recruiting checklist in the bio. Go check that out, Cole. You're going to have to put yourself in front of coaches. Monique, hello. My son is in a post-grad school. He's 20, and we want to know our next move, please. Is this basketball, Monique? So the recruiting process it's the same thing, right? Whether you do it in high school, and if he started it in high school, then he already has an idea for how it works. If not, no worries. So post-grad, I'm going to just guess basketball. If it's basketball, he needs to start now this recruiting process because the season's about to start, so he's going to have film. He's able to call coaches. He doesn't have to wait anymore, until 11th grade to email back and forth. He can pick up the phone and start calling and inviting coaches to his games, sending film, building relationships through the communication. So that's what needs to happen, Monique. Even if it's not basketball, the same thing needs to happen. Crystal, yes, send some video so they know who they're talking to. They want to see the athlete. They don't want to come to the court and be surprised. They want to have an idea of the level of play that they should be expecting from this athlete. All right? Send the film. My daughter, Leap Day Baby, my daughter sends a lot of emails, only responses from coaches no longer recruiting her class. What year is your daughter, Leap Day Baby? And what do you consider to be a lot of emails? Because I tell you what is a lot, and that's the value of a scholarship. That's what's a lot. So if a scholarship for 1 year is worth $20,000, and that's on the low side, if it's $20,000, have you sent enough emails to warrant a $20,000 scholarship? Think about it that way. I doubt you have sent a lot of emails. You may have sent several, but you got to keep going, right? It's not a linear process. You don't send out 10 emails and get 10 responses saying, yes, we love you. We want to recruit you. We want you to be a part of our program. No, you keep going. You send out 20, you don't hear from anybody, you send out 20 more. You expand your list if necessary. Like if playing in college is the goal, then that's what you work toward. The sure way to end this process is by quitting. It's by quitting after you send 15 emails. Yeah, you got to keep going, Leap Day. You got to keep going. And make sure, Leap Day, make sure you are targeting the right level of school. If you were sending emails to Division II schools, is she a Division II level caliber player? That's important. That's another reason a lot of emails go unanswered. Because your kids are not targeting the right levels of school. Lulu's. Hi, hey, my son is a junior at blah, blah, blah high school in California. He plays football and basketball. That's wonderful. He is going to have to pick one sport to pursue in college. And then after he has secured a roster spot with that one position, then he can ask about the other sport if that's what he wants to do. Okay, Perlina, got your question here. How early should start volleyball club in order to be recruited? So Guys, it's really not about how early they start with club or travel or AAU. It's about how good they are. That's what determines if your kid is recruited and the level that they are recruited. They have to be talented, right? They have to have athletic talent to play in college. That's number one. That's number one. So I can't really give you an age as to when they should start club. I mean, I wouldn't start playing on a team that's flying all over the country until I knew that my kid had the size, the athleticism, and the desire to play in college. Like, you need to have several conversations to make sure that's what you want to pursue and that the whole family is on board, because that decision affects the entire family. All right, so there's no age, Perlina. There's no age that I can't give you an age. What if you fumbled tryouts in college? Give it a go again. How to approach coach next year? Yeah, Isaac, absolutely. If you didn't make it this year, why not try again? If that's what you want to do, then you try again. You don't just go away because you didn't make it this year. Think of if you were in high school and you got cut, you would try again, right? Yeah. And I would approach the coach directly. I would go to the coach after this season and just kind of hang around, make sure that he sees you, he knows you, tell him what you want to do, and ask him, what can you do to improve your chances of making the team? Probably wait, though, until after this season, because he's busy right now, right? So wait until after the season and then talk to the position coach about what you can do to improve your chances of making the team next year, and go for it. Vivi, X was a great platform for my son's recruitment. He ended up with 10 D1 football offers. That is exceptional. But let me tell y'all right now, I don't know Vivi. I don't know her son, but I can tell you that he is an outstanding football player to end up with 10 D1 offers, okay? He is not average. He is not run-of-the-mill. He is outstanding. Congratulations, Vivi. That is outstanding. That's fantastic. How early? All right, I already answered that, Perlina. How early should start? Yeah, I can't. There's no answer for that question. Depends on the child. Exactly, Lauren. If they are by far the best on the team, they're on the wrong team. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Miss Key, should I reclassify my daughter to help with her recruiting? Torn ACL junior year. No, is my initial answer. I'd have to know more about your situation, obviously, to be able to give you a complete answer. But this is the kicker right here. Once your child starts 9th grade, once they've started high school, the NCAA has a clock on them. They only have so much time to complete their core courses, right? They only have so much time. And what you're going to be doing by reclassing in high school is possibly putting her behind schedule. So you need to check with the NCAA core, go to ncaa.org, look at the core course requirements, and make sure that your daughter is taking the correct classes, and that she is going to finish those classes when she has to, based on per the NCAA, before her time is up. All right, do that first. All right, see you in the morning, honey. That's the first thing you need to do, is learn the requirements for yourself. Then 2, make sure, I don't know how reclassing works in your state or in your district, but sometimes you have to leave. If you're in public school, you may have to leave and go to a private school in order to reclass and remain eligible. I don't know, but you want to check that out because sometimes you lose a year of eligibility when reclassing. You don't want that to happen. If you have been communicating with coaches already and they have some film on your daughter, then I would just continue those same relationships, continue emailing them, keep them updated on her injury and her return to play. All right? If you need more, Miss Key, send me a message. I do have a reclassification expert I'm happy to put you in touch with. EE Photography is a you're talking about a multi-sport athlete more desired than a single sport. No. What do you do when the coach doesn't play your kid and you need more film for your kid? Vaughn, great question. What I would do is record practices. I would record practices. I would record workouts with trainers. And I would make clips from that and send it to coaches. All right. Do you think basketball is easier to go D1, D2, or football? Emmylou, no, I don't think one is easier than the other. I think it's both going to be equally challenging, and that you need to pick the sport that your child's frame is built for. Pick the sport that your child's frame, their height and weight, mass is built for. And then look at the skill level. That's what you need to do. Okay, post-grad, got you. Yes. So he needs to be getting film right now because they're in season, right? At the post-grad. Go ahead and get film and then send that film to schools that he's interested in. And if it's a top post-grad program, they might have coaches that come to the post-grad. I don't know how it works, but he should be able to talk with his post-grad coach and do this whole recruiting process, whatever you're not able to help him with from afar. But that's what you guys need to do. Again, I have a free recruiting checklist in my bio. The steps are going to be pretty much the same for you, right? Step 1 is exposure. Step 2 is communication. Step 3 is relationships. Johan, my son is a sophomore this year and is being told by a guidance counselor that he needs to wait. Johan, you know what I say to that? If you wait, you're late. If you wait, you're late. You need to be sending out film. You should have started last year. I don't know your sport, your son's sport, but you need to get on the good foot, Johan. Marvin, a fifth grader. No, what you need to do right now, Marvin, is make sure that your child is having fun playing their sports and that they are learning, they are getting a solid foundation in the skills required for the sport. That's what you need to be doing right now. 5th grade. Yeah, you got a few years before high school. Football as a junior. You need to get moving, Nani Beauty. You need to get moving. You need to be emailing coaches. And as a junior, your child can actually call coaches. And that's one great way to differentiate yourself from everybody else and all the emails that a program might be getting, is by picking up the phone and actually calling. Reach out to, yes. Yeah, send your email your track coaches at universities. Email them, send clips of him running, send times, his GPA. You need to be proactively building relationships. Absolutely. And if he's a junior, he can pick up the phone and call for D1. If anything other than D1, he could have been calling. And that's what needs to happen. Don't you sit up there and listen to that guidance counselor telling you to wait. Okay, no. A multi-sport athlete is not more desired than a single sport athlete. I thought I answered that already. No, Shara, can you email too much? No. And if you are emailing too much, the coach will tell you. You said my daughter had a dream school, so how much is too much to... Is she emailing a coach? Like, is it a dream? Like, this would be a dream to play here? Or is it like a pipe dream? Like, there's no way she's going to be at that level ever. If it's a pipe dream, you got to let it go and pick a dream that is more suitable to her frame, to her build, and to her athleticism and skill level. Okay? Emmy Lou, have your child evaluated. Ask a coach that you trust what they think, and ask them for 2 other people that you can talk to, and then ask them for 2 other people. So what'll happen is eventually you'll hear the same names come up over and over. That's who you want to have evaluate your child. And if you need help with that, I can put you in touch, or I can send your film to somebody to get it evaluated. I have a lot of great contacts. My daughter Katie plays 12U softball. She loves it. That's what we want. The kid, if your athlete is talking about playing in college, they better love it. They better love it, because college is a full-time job. Playing a sport in college is a full-time job. You're going to have to love it to excel at it. Skips Sofu. What about if I want to transfer? Okay, and you're a redshirt freshman. What do you, I mean, you know how to transfer, right? I don't know where you're in school. I don't know what the division is, but you're going to have to talk to an administrator and tell them that you want to leave the program. Just be mindful that if you are on scholarship, as soon as you announce your intent to transfer and enter the portal, you probably will be taken off of scholarship. So I say that to say, if you told your coach, if you said, around Thanksgiving, you tell them you want to transfer, you're not going to have a scholarship for spring 2026. So keep that in mind. Plan this out. Spice, is freshman 2029 too early to start? No, you need to start now, Spice. You need to start now. Dog, my son is a 5'8" football wide receiver. Can he still go D1? I mean, I don't know, dog. I don't know. Like, I'm not a recruiter. But you and I both know 5'8" is small for a wide receiver. It's short for a wide receiver. I don't know if he has really long arms. Like, I don't know what his hands are like. I can't answer that question, right? But I also should tell you, there are over 300 Division I schools. So no, maybe he can't go to Ohio State or Texas A&M or wherever. He can't go to a Power 4 school and be a wide receiver. But if you look hard enough, and if he's good enough, if he's special at 5'8", he'll find a home. But you're going to have to be proactive and really drive that process, right? Y'all can do it, but if he's great and committed, you can do it. You just have to be committed to the process and keep going once the no's start coming in. Here we go. Alicia or Alicia. How do you go about having a coach see you play in person when the school is out of state? Why does the coach need to see you play in person if you're sending film? That's my question to you. The internet, you can send film anywhere in the world. We're not waiting for coaches to come see you at your home field. Right? If you wait, you're late. You're not waiting on coaches. You were sending the film, the highlights to the coaches. If the coaches really like you, they like what they see, they'll not only come to your game, they will come to your house. All right? Don't worry about the coaches coming. You send the film to the coach. I don't know why this question keeps coming up. Photography 04. No, a cross athlete is not more desired than a singular sport. A multi-sport athlete is not more desired than a singular sport focused athlete. All right? Okay. Should my child focus on basketball, travel ball, or school basketball, or both? Raul, they need to focus on the sport. The team is not as important as the sport. If they are learning, where are they challenged, where are they growing, where are they developing the most, right? Unless your kid is at a nationally known basketball program, or at an EYBL Scholastic, on an EYBL Scholastic team, or a team that plays for the national championship every year, coach, nobody's coming to their high school basketball. So I would just worry on the sport, not so much which team they're playing for. Aaron Nikki, do you think higher GPAs, honors, and dual enrollment help with getting offers? Absolutely, I do. Higher GPA, yes. If a coach has 2 athletes and they're all equal on film, same position, same measurable, same height, weight, they're going to go with the kid that has a higher GPA. Usually, that's what they're going to do. Unless you're the kid with the lower GPA and you've been building a relationship with the coach for the last 2 years, then they're going with you, because relationships lead to offers. Senior soccer player, it's not too late. It's very late. It's very late, but it's not too late. You need to hit the ground running. You need to hit the ground running. If you need help, send me a message. Maggie ask how to handle both sons because they're great hoopers. One's getting exposure over the other. So listen, it doesn't matter what the sport is or what activity your child is in. The way that you raise a champion is by teaching your child that their value, their worth does not come from their sport. It's not because they're an athlete. It's not because they're good at their sport. It's not because they're tall. It's not because they have great size. No, it's because who they are as a person, not an athlete. Do not tie your child's worth or worthiness into their sport. Find whatever your other son, the one who's not getting the exposure from, or like the other one, find something else for him to do. If he likes playing basketball, then just let him keep playing. If not, have him find another sport. Positive Vibes had over 20 programs reach out on June 15th. Haven't heard from many since. Should we reach out or wait? First of all, Positive Vibes, let's not gloss over the fact that you had 20 programs reach out to your athlete on June 5th. That's fantastic. Congratulations on that achievement. You need to be following up, because what's happening is, and I don't even know the sport, but what's happening is the coaches reached out to your athlete, but they also reached out to dozens of other athletes on June 15th. Some of those kids have stayed in touch. Some of those kids have gotten offers. Your child needs to rekindle the relationship, right? It's, we're in October? Great. Send them some new film, send them an email, ask them where they are in the recruiting process. Tell them where you are in the recruiting process. Tell them how your season's going, what you're looking forward to in the season. Get that communication going to build the relationship so that the offers come. All right? I'm guessing your child is a junior. Keisha Key 333, what to do when your child's coaches are only pushing certain kids? What does that have to do with you, Keisha? Don't worry about that. You're pushing your kid. You were pushing your kid in front of coaches because you were driving the recruiting process, not the coach. You are. You're in control of that. Don't y'all wait on these coaches, because guess what? If you wait, you're late. We're not waiting on coaches. Y'all boogie flow. My son is junior high school or homeschool, plays for charter school, football and basketball. How should I start, I guess? You're going to start exactly like everybody else, except you're late because he's a junior. But get the film, start making a list of schools that would be a good fit for your son, for your athlete, and go ahead and start emailing immediately because he is a junior. Alpha 9, what are your thoughts on reclassing? I think reclassing is a viable option for some people, only the people that have a plan in place. Just like I don't think you need to be running around willy-nilly trying to get recruited. You don't need to willy-nilly jump out and reclass your child. You have to have a plan. What is the point of the reclass? What are you hoping to gain from it? Does it even make sense for your child, for their sport, for their position, for their size? Like, that's what we need to discuss. Their grades, how are they doing academically? What grade are they in right now? Those are all the things, or just some of the things that have to be considered Alpha 9. Somebody else asked about this earlier. If you need more information about it or you want to go deeper into it, send me a message. I do have a friend who is a reclassification expert. She's a phenomenal, and she can guide you through the process. Yes, for D2 also. I told y'all earlier that you need to go to the ncaa.org website, go to playnaia.org, and look at the rules and regulations on recruiting for yourself so that you know you're not going to have to rely on what anybody is telling you. I want you to know for yourself, because elite athletes have elite parents, and that's y'all, okay? Get the information and the knowledge, apply it, and become elite. My daughter is very talented. This is the Kaiser Life. Welcome, Kaiser Life. Very talented in basketball, 7th grade. When and where do you start? Where you start, when you start is going to be 9th grade. If she's super talented, then her recruiting process may start in 8th grade. If she's super talented and has the size for her position and the level. So 9th grade, and you will start by emailing coaches. You will create a list of schools that fit her size, her skill level, and her interests and desires, educational pursuits. Create that list and start emailing coaches, a little bit of film, an introductory email. First step is exposure. Step 2 is communication. Step 3 is relationships. No matter the sport, no matter the gender. Same 3 steps, y'all. Mary Ann New, 44, scholarships are available for, for what? What's this? For D1? Yes, scholarships are available. Athletic scholarships are available for Division 1 and Division 2. And JUCO and NAIA. And D3, right? No. Sorry. All right. Athletic scholarships I'm talking about. Oh yeah, full rides are available for Division 2. Absolutely. Living in F minor. No, it doesn't have to be varsity film. It just has to be actual highlights. We want to see the very best that your child has to offer, okay? It can be varsity film. It can be JV film. It can be from a workout or from a club team. Don't overthink this, guys. Don't overthink this. Can you also go to the college camps, Kaiser Life? Sure, you can go to the college camps. I would not go to a camp, a showcase, a clinic, an all-star game without announcing my arrival, like, or my RSVP that I plan to be there. I would notify all the coaches that are going to be in attendance that I'm coming to this camp. I'm excited about it, why I'm excited, what you hope to do, and that you look forward to meeting. That's absolutely what you have to do before any camps or clinics or showcases. Else what's going to happen is you're going to be disappointed because your child is going to be in a back gym in a field, literally way off in left field. No one's going to pay them any attention because they don't know who they are. So again, that's part of the exposure piece that you parents, you need to make sure your kids are doing, all right? Elite athletes have elite parents. Is there an advantage for young athletes playing up in showcases? I can't think of one. Viv Lavi to Sherry. Do you know where parents can apply for NIL deals? All right, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. So real quickly, guys, NIL, name, image, and likeness. I think a lot of parents and athletes probably, but a lot of parents get it confused, right? So there are NIL deals which an athlete can go out and go after on their own, separate, independent of the university, right? So that's one thing they can do for NIL. They can, get deals with local services in town. They can run their own camps. They can sell merchandise. All of that is available to them under NIL. The other piece is NIL collectives. So that's where universities have a large group of donors or boosters that give money, and that pot of money is distributed to student athletes in certain sports, right? So I don't know what you're talking about, where parents can apply for NIL deals. You could do a Google search though. Slots of travel, is freshman year too soon to start planning? Freshman year is too late to start planning. You need to be planning 7th and 8th grade and be ready to launch in 9th grade slots of travel. Tips for rowing recruiting, exact same thing, Lavender. Let's do exposure, communication. So that's your email. Start emailing coaches. I know a couple of young women who started out as volleyball players and then switched to rowing in their junior year and got substantial scholarships to school for rowing. AC, you got some time. Sons in 5th grade. Just enjoy them. It goes by so quickly. I know when you were in the midst of recruiting, it seems like it's like a drag and taking forever, and the emotional toil is a lot, but I'm telling you, it goes quickly, guys. Jack, I have 4 D1 boys playing in Big Ten, MAC, SEC, and EIWA.
Yes, sir.
Jack, I love that for you. That is awesome. I don't know what do y'all do on Saturdays? Who goes where? The logistics of that, but I love that. That is awesome. Congratulations. Send me a message if you have a chance, Jack. I'd like to have you as a guest on my podcast coming soon. You're absolutely right, Jack. Just be honest and ask, where do you stand? People don't want to ask the hard questions. Those are the questions you need answered so you can make the best decision for your athlete and your family. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid of the answers. Adri, is it okay to start getting them a social media presence in 7th grade, or is that too early? If you're okay with that and you're going to be managing it, I think that's fine, Adri. It's different for each family. But yeah, that's fine. It doesn't cost anything. 20J, the best time to really start recruitment, I really believe it's ninth grade. If your kid is an elite athlete, they're going to hear from coaches in ninth grade if they haven't in eighth grade. Like they're going to have the attention already, right? For those of you that your kid does not have anybody's attention in ninth grade, eighth grade, you need to start contacting schools in ninth grade. And that's just with a simple email, an email with some highlights, some information about your kid. Start in ninth grade. If you wait, you will be late. Raquel, is it true schools will wait to recruit until they see other schools recruiting your child? It sometimes seems that way because, and in some sports, it is absolutely the case. Like if your child, say they are getting low or mid-major D1 offers, and then they get an offer from a Power 4 school, then usually others will follow suit. And it's not so much that they really want your child as they want it to look like they know what they're doing, and they don't want it to be said, oh, why didn't y'all reach out to so-and-so, or why didn't you offer them? Like what? So yeah, that does happen. That does happen. Jack is dropping some gems here. I hope you're picking up what he said. I have 4 D1 boys. They're football players playing in major conferences. The kids need to drive the process. If you wait, you're late. All right, Kayla Lee, I have a freshman, men's gymnastics. We have already started. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. A few years ago, Kayla, I was in Colorado Springs and was on a tour at the Olympic Training Center, and it happened to be the Olympic year for Brazil. I don't remember which year it was, but it was the year Olympics were in Brazil. And the men's gymnastic USA team was there doing like a dry run for the Olympics. So we got to see the routines and everything before they went to Brazil. It was super exciting. But good luck to your son. I'm glad you guys have started. I have Gigi, freshman, trying to get to camps, but he has a full travel schedule. I don't know what to tell you, Gigi. You make time for what's important and keep the main thing the main thing. All right, first down fishing. I coached college football for 10 years. There's no magic. Either they are offered or not. There is no magic. You're right about that. Gigi, so your child is in high school, right? If your child is in high school, or they are playing anywhere other than the cul-de-sac, then the coach should know that she has dreams and goals of playing in college. That should not be a surprise to the coach. And the coach should be there to support her. If the coach has a problem with her missing a tournament to go to an exposure camp, then you might need to take another look at your coach. College is the goal, not a tournament, not an AAU tournament. Okay, how do I sign my son up for NCAA? Go to web3.ncaa.org. web3.ncaa.org. And just do the free profile. You don't need to sign your child up you don't need to pay until you know that your child is being recruited by Division I or Division II coaches. Or Gonzalez Nancy, I have a freshman in high school. NCSA is a good route? ? My son has good grade. No, it's not a good route, Nancy. The good route is you guys handling the recruiting yourself. I have a video, what to do in ninth grade. I'm happy to send that to you. If you message me, I'll send you that video. I have a free recruiting checklist in my store. The link is in my bio, and I have paid resources as well. And it is going to cost you a lot less than any recruiting service than NCSA. All right? And be even more beneficial. How about that? Cody Rose, I am a parent volunteer coach. I coach 6th to 8th grade girls. What advice could I give? To the 6th to 8th grade girls or to the parents? What advice are you looking to give? Obviously, I would tell the girls that sports are a wonderful opportunity that help you create lifelong skills outside that transcend sports. And you might even make a friend on this team that becomes a friend for life. And that would be wonderful, right? You're going to teach just the fundamentals and how to be a good sport. If you're talking about what to tell parents, tell the parents that their role is to parent. Everybody has a role. The officials, the parents, the coaches, and the fans, right? If everybody does their job, we're going to have a great season. SD, South Dakota to Utah. You were a middle, right? Correct. And so was my daughter. Any advice for a girl who is a middle but wants to hit? All right, so why are we thinking she's a middle hitter? She's a middle hitter and a middle blocker. She should be hitting in the middle. This is what I would tell her in any middle. And I actually have a video on how to play the middle. 3 things that you need to do. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's a video worth your time. You need to, as a middle, if she wants to hit, if she wants to be involved in the offense, she needs to understand a couple things. Number one, she has to make herself available to the setter. Standing there, calling for the ball is not the same as going toward the setter, getting up in the air. If she's a middle, she should be hitting quicks. So she's got to be in the air and ready to attack. Make herself available to the setter. That's number one. Number two, her job in the middle is to hold a blocker. If she is able to go up and convince the defensive middle, the middle on the other side, that she is an actual offensive threat, then that middle is going to commit and stay with her. What that will do is open up her outside hitters to have one-on-one blocking. That's what they want on the outside, one-on-one. And if the middle gets a set, she should be able to put the ball away because she only has one blocker and a lot of court to work with. That's a long answer, but she needs to make herself available. If a middle wants to hit, she needs to get up in the air. The Gold Digger, great question. Or an exciting question. Any advice for a senior going on first official visit tomorrow? Wow. You know what? What's tomorrow? Friday? Is it what's your sport, Gold Digger? Some sports have official visits and they bring in a bunch of kids. So, and you'll do some activities together. Some will be separate one-on-one. Other sports for various athletes, it's just one-on-one. So my advice is to just really enjoy it. I hope you're able to go with your senior on the visit. It is exhausting. When you do an official visit the right way, even an unofficial visit, if it's you were invited and you went on your own, whatever the case, if there's an itinerary on an unofficial visit, it'll wear you out. But I'm telling you that an official visit is going to be exhausting. So take it all in. You will meet a lot of people. If he took notes, that would be impressive. Wrote down people's names and sent thank you notes after the visit. But just take it all in. It's going to be incredible. I hope your son loves it. I hope you love it. And it's just the beginning of many more. So congratulations. It's okay. Pure athlete performance. I think I saw this question maybe in the comments or you messaged me. How can you shortlist a school without knowing if offered if they're offering real money or scholarships. So when I am telling you to shortlist schools in the beginning, that's just a list of schools that your athlete would be interested in, like based on geography, weather, areas of study, maybe size of the campus, size of classes, that sort of thing. That's the list I want you to create. And then you'll start emailing the coaches on that list. Start emailing them, sending film, and then in the communication part of your recruitment journey, then they'll start talking about money and what they have, what they're offering. All right. So yeah, you have to wait before you can shortlist the interested schools or the offers. Allie Spam, hey, what are some things I can do in 8th grade to be more known, especially if on a travel team? Who are you trying to be known to? If you're trying to be known to college coaches, you need to email them, send them your schedule, let them know where you're going to be, let them know why you like their program, let them know where you're going to high school, what your goals are for the future, what you're doing to get stronger, faster. You get on coaches' radars by putting yourself there. And the way that you stay on the radar is by being great students and great athletes. Can my child do homeschool for high school and only club and still, absolutely, and still get a scholarship for volleyball? Absolutely. Nobody was coming to your daughter's high school anyhow. Even if she wasn't homeschooled, no coach was coming to her high school to recruit her. They were going to be recruiting at large club tournaments. As thoughts for should a high school coach reach out to colleges for your athlete? I wouldn't wait on that. If you're waiting on the coach to reach out on your athlete's behalf, you will be late. If you wait, you're late. Do not wait on these coaches. Y'all, half of them don't even know what they're doing in their job. So they're certainly not going to be trying to help with recruiting. They don't know. If the high school coach does not know volleyball, college level volleyball, if the high school coach does not have relationships with coaches, what are they going to say? Do you want them reaching out on behalf of your child if they don't know anything? No. But that high school coach can relay information. So if your daughter is emailing coaches in 9th grade and a coach happens to respond, they can respond to your coach, and then the coach can let you know what the deal is. Cindy says, my child is in middle school. How can I best set them up for success at this age? By making sure that they are learning all of the skills, right? One of the biggest mistakes that I see with basketball players is that in middle school, maybe even at the grassroots level before middle school, they might be tall for their age or big, and so they are put in the 4 or 5 position, right? A forward or the center position, and they never learn how to handle the ball. They never learn ball handling skills. And then what happens is, as everybody gets older, this kid turns out just had an early growth spurt. So now they're in high school, 6'5", trying to play the 5, and that doesn't work. 6'5" doesn't work at the 4. So these are the things I want you to be mindful of. So make sure they're learning all the skills associated with the sport. Don't let them be pigeonholed as a big if that's their situation, if that's their case. All right. Gina B, she says, man, this process is so stressful. It can be if you don't understand what's happening, if you don't have a handle on it, it is going to stress you out, right? But that's why I always say it's like parenting. It is a marathon, not a sprint. But the more that you know, Gina, the more confident and knowledgeable you are, it goes a lot easier. And especially if you select your schools ahead of time, If you scout the teams before they scout you, then it kind of gives you a position of power. So don't get too stressed out. Enjoy it. Remember, it is a blessing. A lot of parents will never experience going through this recruitment. So it can be overwhelming. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to try to help calm your anxiety. Lindsay Lou did a showcase this past summer and have been invited to prospect days. Worth it for freshmen. I think a prospect day is nice, but is it going to be like elite camps where everybody is not elite? Or is prospect camp, is everybody actually going to be a prospect, or is that just the name of the camp? You got to be careful here. And so that's why I say I encourage y'all to reach out to coaches before you commit to any camp, clinic, showcase, whatever the situation may be. Because if you don't, you have a good chance of your child ending up in a gym in the back or in a field way out in left field. All right. And that's not going to make anybody happy. That's going to be a bad day. All right. TMCD, how did you evaluate schools for your daughter and determine the best fit? Oh, great question. And this is really what I want you guys to, what I want you to do. I had about 15 to 20 questions. Hold on while I sip my lemon drop off camera. So about 15 questions that she decided she needed to know in order for a school to be on her list. And they were questions about, she knew she wanted to go somewhere warm. She didn't want cold weather, so warm. She wanted a large school. She wanted a community that supported athletics at the university. She wasn't concerned about distance from home. She knew we would come wherever she went. She wanted a school that had a big football program. She's a huge football fan, so she wanted that. She was fine with large classes. And she wanted to know that she wanted to be a priority to the coach. That's what was important to her. So when she would hear from, and she also wanted a full ride for all 4 years. So whenever she was talking to a school, if they didn't check one of those boxes, then that was the end of the conversation for her. It was after she started talking to schools and they started talking about scholarships, that's when she would know if they were going to be able to give her the full ride. Angela, when did you decide what sport to focus on more with the multi-sport athlete? It just fell out that way. Like, that's just what they grew into and what their bodies grew into. I did take their physical build into account. When Very Cookie asked, y'all, it's 10 o'clock. My bedtime is 9:30. We got to wrap this up. All right, when a D1 school makes an offer before your kid applies to the university, how much pull with admission? Cookie, I do not know the answer to that question. I have never known, and my experience is limited only to the Division I level. I have never known a school to make an offer and the kid not be accepted into the school. So you can read that however you want. And I do know that the Ivies and Stanford require that you, we missed it, require that you be accepted into the university before they offer you. So that's that. Alexis, my son's a sophomore, was invited to a game day visit. He should attend this right as a sophomore. Yeah, if it's convenient, I'm guessing it's local or close by. Absolutely go. There will be dozens of other kids there. I don't know how big the program is, but he may not even be acknowledged as a sophomore because they've got more pressing issues, but enjoy it. Go enjoy it. Eyes open. Take it all in. Any advice for an uncommitted 2026? Okay, is she working on a recruiting plan? If she is working on a plan, I have a lot I can give her. If she's wishing she were being recruited, that's not a plan. That's not a plan. There's plenty of opportunity available out here. IMT, did she apply to these schools of interest before being offered or waited for offers? She didn't apply anywhere. She was offered and then applied at the school of her that she chose. And I'm sure that it's different for everybody, right? There are many paths up the mountain. I'm glad you're here, but I am winding up, y'all. It's 10 o'clock. I have never been on live this long, but I have enjoyed y'all. I hope you got something that you can use. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. And I will be back.